Hello, everyone. This is week 48 of my LinkedIn live stream 52-week challenge to have a LinkedIn live stream. And I'm glad to have my guest here, Rashmi Sharma, who's actually in the same area as me in the San Francisco Bay Area. How are you doing today, Rashmi?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It definitely have the post Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know. I don't want to call it like a hangover. It's the food version of the hangover.
Good. Thanksgiving is a time to, connect and reconnect with family and friends. So, little bit of hangover is okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, and this is definitely a good time to take a break from work, take a break from things, and thank you for moving this live stream a little earlier so we can enjoy the rest of our Black Friday here.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. So, Rashmi, do you mind introducing yourself? What do you do?
So definitely, I am all of you know my name. I'm Rashmi, and I am working in the area of training and coaching, and I'm an certified executive coach, and I love to help people uh, to excel their performance, their gain their new confidence, and write their own success stories. So that's where I am. Professionally, I'm right now working with a local county, and I help there for to manage their staff training and staff development, and lots of new learning for me as well because this is a time where lots of things has changed for all of us at workplace. So I'm a lifelong learner, so I'm learning new things as well as teaching them, training them on new skills and new competencies they need to survive and thrive in the workplace.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And this is why it's a you're the perfect person to talk about our topic today about changing leadership. We'll focus more on the organizational leadership, try and figure out what's wrong with it, how can we change it, and then we'll also share some tips later on in the second half about what you can do as an individual to grow as a leader. So let's go with our first topic here. Rashmi, in your opinion, what's wrong with leadership culture today?
I won't say that something is wrong with the leadership, but I would rather like to say that leadership needs to pause and reflect on what changed in the past. So, there are the DDI report, PwC report, McKinsey report. All these reports comes on leadership, where they give us the insight on how the leadership which direction the leadership is going in the current uh, time. You know, in 2021, I think if I remember correctly, the PwC report says that top three things which leadership is focusing these days it is adjusting their growth strategies, planning investment, and I'll elaborate what they mean by it and how I interpret their bullets here, and building trust. So
Hmm.
these are the three things: growth strategy, planning investment, and building trust. And these three things says a lot about the challenges leadership is having right now. Uh, Growth strategy is not about anymore about the numbers. The growth strategy is to remain relevant in the market.
Hmm.
you know we live in Silicon Valley, and we know that how the startup incubators are acting these days. People are coming up with very creative and innovative ideas where traditional businesses or conventional method of doing business is challenged. So that growth strategy, now the growth strategy is to leverage the technology
Mm-hmm.
in any business. It could be a service industry or product based industry. We all are looking for a new technology that serves and improves the customer experience, the stakeholder experience, and as well as give us a more growth. So that's how the leadership is challenged right now. And planned investment, right? Nowadays the financial security is a talk of a past. Is no company can say that they're financially secure, because the amount of innovation and the different technologies they have to deal with, it's it's overwhelming.
Hmm.
So they are looking for more sustainable investment, and that sustainable investment, which is very different from what we have seen in past, it's in most of the company. When they talking about sustainable investment, they are talking about people. They are talking about racial equity, and helping the planet with the environmental goals.
Hmm.
Even the technology company, the manufacturing industry, the service industry, no industry can say that they are different and they cannot focus on environmental issues. So these are the two top trends for 2021 for the companies to, uh, when they are planning for their investment. They are increasing their racial equity, and they are increasing their part in environment, to attain the environmental sustainable goals. And the third part is very interesting and very close to my heart as well, is building trust. Building trust is such a wide term, for any business. When we think about trust, we think about some kind of a transaction. So the building trust with the customer, with the stakeholders, with the community, with the society, with the finances, with the planners, with the strategists, with the government, it's a huge task for any business to manage that trust and grow.
Hmm.
So the strategy behind building trust is more focused on agile. They are adjusting based on the situations they are in, and they are becoming more resilient. And these are the two traits we all, as a leader, as a business, as a practitioner, as a manager, anybody can adopt these and do better.
Hmm.
So this more agility is very, very important in current situation, and as well as how best you adjust, how you are open for to become more resilient. So I think that's the three thing I would like to highlight when it comes to leadership culture today.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy being a leader, especially in these times, right? So, just want to summarize your three main points: your growth strategy, your planning, as well as building trust. And whatever strategies we had in the past, now with the pandemic, now with the virtual workforce, working remotely, it's everything's changed, right? And I mean, you talk about you can't just be innovative anymore, right? It's not just about the finances that or how much money you make, right? It's all about being able to be flexible and be resilient and being able to adjust. So it's definitely very, very challenging to be a leader, right? Because it's not just, oh, I'm just trying to make the most money. You also have to build trust with your customer, with your suppliers, with your own employees as well. So it's definitely very, very challenging.
Of
So,
course, it's a big task for businesses right now.
mhm. Yep. Want to highlight comments here. So good morning, Marcello. Thanks for joining us live here, all the way from Atlanta. He says hello to you as well, Rashmi.
Hey, hello.
And then good morning, Robert. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well. All right, and then let's move on to our next topic here. You have this on your LinkedIn profile. I'm actually very curious. What does this mean? So you're talking about going from transformational to transcendental leadership. So what does this mean?
So that's kind of my research, which I am also uh, doing for my doctoral degree. And this transcendent leadership, uh, it's a very fundamental concept, but unfortunately, in business and different geographies, transcendental means something to do with religion. But for me, as a concept, transcendental is not nothing to do with any religion, but it's about more about uh, practicing consciousness.
Mm,
self consciousness for yourself. So, transformational leadership is serving corporate America right now. You know, we all say that the leadership has to be more people centric, human centric, focusing on workforce, focusing on uh, people who are serving you to reach your goals, right? But transcendental leadership, my question here is the inquiry which I'm making in my research also is what is the need for a person to become a leader? What is your calling to serve as a leader? That's
mm,
very important, right? And since since we all know leadership is no more a title, it's a service. So when you are serving, how you are connecting with yourself. Unless you are connected with the cause which you are serving for, it's very hard to be that servant leadership model, or to become a transformational leadership where you can inspire and mentor others to do better. So the transcendent leadership helps you to understand why you are serving, what is the need you are fulfilling while serving others, how it connects with you. And once you are connected with your cause, you are going to excel, right? Unless you feel that, or you are invested with your emotions, with and that defines your paradigm, it's very hard to become a transcendental leader, because most of us become very transactional when it comes to a leadership, right? You have a goal,
mhm,
I am serving it, right? So for you, just being my boss, or being entitled to assign me work and ask me for report and yell on me if I'm not there on the performance, that's not the definition of leadership anymore.
mhm,
It has transformed there. So transcendent leadership stem out of transformational leadership, and it's talking about what is beyond transformation. Like, a simple example I always talk about, we started working out from home in 2020, right? We converted our bedrooms into a workplace. Somebody converted their living room into a workplace, right? Depending on where we are, where we live, right? And what works better for us. You transformed your bedroom or a living room because it serves you better, right? There is no thumb rule that you should not work from your bedroom or you should not work from your
mhm,
living room. You can work from your garage. Anything is possible. But once you transform, you are transforming because it serves you better. If it
mm,
is not serving you, what is the meaning of transformation? Just because somebody else transformed, I need to transform? But is that connects with me or serves me better? That's the biggest and deepest question, which I connect that to the transcendent leadership and talk about to rise yourself from within to serve others.
mhm. Yeah, you made a lot of great points. I think the most important thing here, and it doesn't just apply to leadership, but it's all about the why, right? Why did you become to be a leader? Why are you in the position you are today? So it's all about that why, because as the earlier we talked about, it's hard. It's hard being a leader, and you're not just taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your business. You're taking care of others. You want to make sure everyone's able to succeed, and so deep down, you really need to have that why about why am I doing this? Because it's not easy. And when you were sharing the difference between transformational and transcendental, I've had leaders or managers that I reported to and at work, and the good ones, the best leaders are the ones that ask me, what do I want to do in my career? They want me to be successful rather than them trying to climb the ladder, getting on to the next position and stepping over people along the way. And they're just focused on themselves, right? So I think that's the key thing about being a leader is you have to understand your why and the true purpose why you want to become a leader, and you want to help others. You want to be that servant leader to others.
Of course. And that why is always changing. Why could be the one basic point which you like to keep it with you. That's the core or the crux of you, but it adjusts because you are in a service, right? It depends on whom you are serving to. So you have to adjust the rest of your why most of the time, because that's the way you can be effective and you can be impactful.
Hmm. Absolutely. And again, you have to be flexible. So, we'll talk about this a little bit later on how to become a leader. But as a leader, you might have your own leadership style that works for one person or the old group you were in. But now you're in a new situation. There's different habits, there's different work styles. You have to be able to be flexible and still be successful as well. All right. Let's move on to our next topic here. So we've kind of focused about how to become or why it's challenging being a leader, why it's important to be a leader, understanding that why. How do you get leadership experience? How do you become a leader?
There are several ways. Most of the time when I'm training here at my workplace, people ask me that why I need to be a leader. I'm not in a leadership position. So leadership, I don't think is something which you need to do extraordinary to become a leader.
Mm,
You know, Taking initiative is a leadership. Doing right thing is a leadership. Managing your integrity on top of everything is a leadership. Developing your personality and character so people can trust you, that's a leadership. No matter which title you are serving, the importance is that you are doing right thing even when nobody is watching.
mm,
That's the leadership. And that's you have to, you know see things through the perspective of how you can do better. Leadership is not about others, leadership is about you. Leadership is not external, it's internal. Any role, any role, any role, even being into a cleaning lady which comes in my office, she has leadership attributes, because I know I trust her to a core, and I know that whatever I lift in my office is going to be there. She is managing her character and integrity on top of everything. That's a leadership.
mm.
So anybody can be a leader if you are like ready to help others. That's a leadership characteristics. Uh, uh, being in a situation where everything is tough and people are arguing, and if you are just able to calm them down, that's a leadership. So there are a lot of things you can do even when you are not in a leadership position, and people feel that those things are not getting noticed, but it's extremely important to keep doing, and I have seen a tremendous results. People observe you, and they make perception about you, the way you behave and the way you carry your day-to-day affairs within your workplace. So it's very, very important to you know connect with you and do the rightful things which you think is going to serve you in future, and that's leadership.
Wow, you made that was an excellent point here, and I think a lot of people are worried or are unsure that they can become a leader because they say, "Oh, I'm not a manager. I'm not. I don't have direct reports, so I'm not a leader." And you made an excellent point. Your title doesn't define if you're a leader or not, right? It's all these little things that you do that make a difference, right? I think that's the key, right? You make a difference. You don't have to be an extrovert. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room to be a leader. All these little things that where you share your insights at the right moment, where you point out something saying, "Hey, this doesn't seem quite right. Maybe we should do something about it." Or maybe when you help other people, like you said, all these little things, they are all leadership attributes. So you don't have to be so hard on yourself and say, "Oh, I have to work here for 10 years in order to become a manager and therefore I'm a leader." No, anyone can be a leader.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So now, we know anyone can become a leader. You do these little things to start building up your leadership experience to show your leadership qualities and traits. How can you become a better leader? How do you um, become more of that person that people look up to or people who want to follow you? How do you become a better leader?
I personally think, and I diligently practice to that to become a better leader, you have to become a better listener.
Mm.
You know, uh, most of the time people think that leadership is about saying things, sharing things, influencing people, right? Being impactful, make them feel their presence. That's all things are good. But to become a better leader, you have to become a better listener and better follower. And when I say better follower, I'm not saying that you have to follow some person. I'm saying that being more disciplined. Follow your routine, follow your heart, follow your due diligence, whatever you do, right? Self leadership. Coach yourself that whatever you have done in past, wherever you are in your present career or life, can you do better? How can you challenge yourself without killing yourself or comparing with somebody else? We all have an equal chance to become better. It's just that what we choose, what choices we make to become better at anything, and it takes practice, right? You cannot become a musician overnight. You cannot become a painter overnight. So you cannot become a leader overnight. You have to practice and keep doing things and believing in it. It's very, very important to get better at
Yeah, no, that's a great point, right? I love the analogy you just mentioned that you just can't become a painter or a musician overnight. These things take time, right? And I'm doing these live streams. I just didn't become a public speaker or doing live streams overnight. It's all those weekly videos I've been doing since 2018. So all these little things that add up. You have to practice. You have to get better. And what I share with a lot of college students about those who are wanting to get into leadership but not quite how to get there. I tell them go join organizations, go join a club, right, and start putting yourself out there. Start taking on taking on a leadership role. So you start building up those leadership skills, and it's a no pressure environment because you're in a student organization, right? You're not making money for the school. You're not making money for the company. Your performance doesn't quite impact the company's bottom line. So that's a great way for you to start building up those leadership skills. And again, it's all about practice and looking within, building up those habits. Because, like you said, you never know who's watching, right? It's all these little things that you do that people start noticing over time. Oh, you're growing, you're improving, you're getting better, and they see how far you grow, and they see your journey, and they say, "Yeah, I really want to work with Rashmi. I really want to work with Steven." That's how you become a better leader. Anything else you want to add?
it. Yeah, so even that that space, it gives you you said that you're working with somebody, some organization or education area where nobody, it's not impacting the bottom line or the revenue or the performance of your company. So that's a great way to put yourself out and see what works better for you. Is that something we sign up for so many things, and then later we realize that's not for me, right? So when you go and practice and help people, if helping people gives you that confidence, be that person. If it could be anything, writing for somebody else, holding somebody's hands, helping your neighbor, sending your kids to a community center where they can mingle and create a very inclusive community. Everything is a one step closer to be for leadership, because you are setting that example, right
Mm.
example in front of you.
Yeah, great point. So don't overthink about what it takes to become a leader. Do all these little things, make a difference, help others, support others. You don't have to be the loudest person or the smartest person in the room. You just have to be able to do these little things that make a big difference over time. So yeah, excellent point, Rashmi.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're at the end of our live stream here. We talked about quite a lot of different topics about changing leadership. We talked about the three main points of the three main strategy points of being a leader. You have to be strategic. You have to be able to plan, and also have to build trust. We talk about leadership changes needed just because of where we are in our times, right? With the pandemic, with the working remotely, we talk about transformational to transcendental leadership. You have to look within yourself. You have to understand your why about becoming a leader. And becoming a leader, having that building up that experience, it's really not that hard. Just do these little things that over time help people, impact people in a positive way. And also, you have to look at yourself and practice and grow as well. Rashmi, I want to give you the last few minutes here for you to make your plug. This is Rashmi's LinkedIn profile. Make sure you connect with her. So, Rashmi, what do you have upcoming? How do you help others, or what do you need help with?
Of course. So I am right now, taking new clients for executive coaching, people who are, I specifically work for highly skilled people who are looking to become future leaders. So I help in that is my sweet point. I also help lots of ladies to become who has taken a long sabbatical in their career to raise their family, to
Mm.
and to and now they are ready to go back to work, but they are lost. They don't know where to get started with. So I help those ladies and those people who are in a transition phase. So that's something I really enjoy, because that's outcomes. The outcome is always celebration. So I
Mm.
love that, helping those people. Um, and I'm open to connect with anybody who is sending me a connection request on LinkedIn. My website I will be popping in my website link later, and you know anything anything I can help anybody with, that will be a good good way to start a relationship.
Yep, and that's the key of being a leader, right? Helping others, right? No matter what the need is, just being able to help others. Maybe you can't help them directly, but you can point them to someone that can help them as well.
Of course.
Yep. So make sure to connect with Rashmi if you're just looking to grow as an executive leader, or you just you've been out of the workforce for a while and you're just trying to get back in. Connect with Rashmi, and she'll definitely help you out. So, any final words here, Rashmi, before we wrap up?
I would also only like to say that don't think about that leadership is something which is beyond you. What if you are the designer of your life, so whatever you want to design for, it will come to life when you put your right energy and right thoughts into it. So if you want to become a leader, do the groundwork, gain that experience, uh, walk on the right path. So, and don't focus on the final destination, enjoy the journey along too. And that's the way to become a leader, because when you are enjoying your journey, you are living your footprints and creating that impact, which might feel invisible, but it's visible at the right spot. So just be that person, be that leader. That is the vision for me.
Oh, I love that. Right? You have your one life, you have your one career. Do what you want, right? Again, don't focus at the end. Focus along the journey. Have fun along the way. Learn along the way, and I think that just really makes you more of a happier, positive person as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you so much, Rashmi, for joining me here talking about leadership. Leadership is always an important topic to talk about, so I really appreciate you sharing your insights here about leadership culture, what it's important to be a leader, and I think the bottom line here is anyone can be a leader. Don't overthink it. Just deep down, just take those steps and help others, and you'll become a leader. You'll become a leader over time as you build up those habits and practice being a leader.
Of course. You summarized it so well, Stephen.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and I'll talk to you all next week.
Thank you. Bye.